hit a lot of big plays today. Did you like that? And then maybe Friday's scrimmage too. What did you think about that coming out of that?
No, I did. As anybody knows, that's watched us not only last year but over the years. Like when we can produce explosive plays, and it's something that we harp on a ton. Just finding ways to create them. When we can create those explosive plays, that's when we can be really, really special on offense. And so, hit a lot more today than we were able to on Friday. Hit some, but I think it was just. I think the guys did a great job of learning from Friday because we made some things really hard on ourselves on Friday in the scrimmage. Like it honestly felt like. It felt like just a reminder of like the first 6-7 games last year. Like we just made everything so hard, and I thought they did a great job of just responding and learning from the scrimmage, and took it to the practice field today. And I think that's what produced some of those things.
When you're building off those explosive plays, seems like a lot of times the receivers did a very good job of getting back on top of the defensive back, stemming their routes. How well do you think the receiver group's coming along from just kind of a mental standpoint playing the game?
No, they're doing a great job, and that's where it's such a good room because you've got such a good mix of older and younger players. And when you've got like young guys, and I still consider Yannick being one of our younger guys. He's able to learn from, Tyler Johnson, even though he just got here. He's an older guy that's played football. He's learning from Anthony. Guys like him, Jiren, Malik Leverett, who's having an unbelievable spring. Those young guys are able to watch those older guys and learn. And, talked about before, just the ability for those guys to kind of accelerate, their development, their learning. They're doing a great job, and it's a group that continues to get better each and every week.
Coach, news out. Obviously, Jake decided to leave the team. It appears. What's your take on that, and obviously any conversations with them?
Yeah, I mean it's that's what I think people forget sometimes is that there's real life things out there, and I won't go too much into it. But like for Jake, he's got other things outside the game of football. He's got a daughter, and he's got people that he cares about that he needs to take care of, and so it's not just all a football decision. So he's got to make some decisions and look at some things that are best for him and for his family. And I told him today, I said, man, I love you, and I will do whatever I can to help you from now until forever. And he knows that. And so sad to see him go. He's been such a joy and such a great teammate to the people around him and to people of East Carolina. We'll support him and pull for him, whatever happens for him. But we got a lot of other guys in the room that will continue to coach and develop and get ready to play.
Watching them today, it just seemed like there was the guys behind Caden, there was almost like new energy competing for that number 2 spot. I don't know, what's your take on that?
Yeah, no, I mean it is what it is. Like they see it as an opportunity. Like everybody, we got a great room, and they love each other and they respect each other, but at the same time, like they're competitive and so they see it as an opportunity. They see reps, they see positions that they can go get, and you saw that today. You saw some guys all of a sudden like had a little sense of urgency to them, and so that was nice to see, and that's what you want, and that's what we know about the room. It's a talented room, and I was excited for those guys because it just means more reps and opportunities for them to grow and develop.
Raheem's doing something that a lot of college athletes don't do, and that's sticking around here today. He's not getting the playing time that he might want, but what are you seeing from him this spring?
Yeah, I mean, same thing as the rest of those guys. Like he's done a great job of just developing, getting better. And you're right, but again, like it's a testament not only to Raheem but to this place. Raheem loves going to school at East Carolina. He loves his teammates. He's a great teammate, and that's the thing I love most about him. But he takes coaching so well. I love when that dude walks in the room every day, and so do every guy in our quarterback room. So I'm excited for Raheem because just like those other guys, it's a new opportunity for him, chance for reps with a different unit, and so we'll see how it goes moving forward.
Y'all have a ton of receivers, as you mentioned, some of the names. How do you, get all those guys reps or evaluate them fairly, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Because I've been on the other side of that where it's like you got a couple of them and you're trying to protect them like crazy. But for us, how can we get these guys as many reps as possible, because they need it. Like I mentioned a couple older guys before, like Tyler and Peyton that just got here. They're older guys that have played football, but they haven't really, really played, and especially in our system. And so they need a ton of reps, just like these young guys do. And just try and map it out every day, like map out every rep and make sure that we're putting enough on tape that we can truly evaluate these guys and figure out who's going to help us in the fall.
In order to have explosion plays, obviously the quarterbacks have plenty of time. A lot of times you keep your tail back in and pass pro there. How do you feel like these guys are handling the whole blocking side of things?
The running back specifically?
Yeah.
No, they're doing a great job. And, it's really the same thing for those receivers. We ask those receivers to block a ton on the edge, and it's the same set of those running backs. Like, if you want the football, you better block, or else you're not going to be on the field, because we ask those guys to do it so much. And so, they understand that, and if they don't pass pro, they won't be in the game, so it's hard to get touches. And they've done a great job, and it doesn't matter who they are. Even though some of those smaller guys like London and TJ, they've done a great job of sticking their nose up in there and fighting, and that's what it is. It's about a 2-second fight, and our guys, they've been willing to do that, and they got to continue to progress and get better and better at it.
With Carson obviously getting made up at center, who else is kind of working there right now and getting reps there?
It's a little bit by committee. Today we put Bryce Weaver in there and just kind of force-fed him and, see what he can do. He adds some different dynamics in there that some of those other guys don't, just as far as he's got versatility. He can play the guard position. He played out at tackle for us last year in games, so he knows it from inside and out. But he adds a little bit of size, and he's got some pop. He's got the ability to move people. And believe it or not, I mess with him all the time. He's a goofball, but he's got some leadership qualities, and you want that from that position. You want him to be able to speak up and get guys pulling in the right direction like a Dustin Hall would. And so, Bryce has been in there, Darius has been in there, and we'll just keep going. None of those guys have really done it before in a game, but they've got the ability to snap, and that's a huge, huge deal for us right now.